Hello, you have chosen the gameplay explanation for quests in Thea the Awakening. I'm going to cover the basics of a quest, including how to start one and where it may go after you've finished one. First, I'm going to select one of my expeditions and choose to move it to a tile where there is a quest, in this case, the Elf City. When I move there, it brings up this small UI in a green flashing question mark. Click on this to begin the quest. You may find the tower just as Alice told you. It stands tall, looming over the countryside. Its dark stones show no sign of entrance, but as you get closer, you see a lone figure sitting outside in a rocking chair. He waves his hands at you and smiles cheerfully. He is an old orc male, dressed in a simple linen shirt and leather trousers, with no visible weapons on him. Then I am provided with two choices. I can talk to the orc and say I'm looking for someone called Zadra, and then I can ask the orc directly, "Hey, are you Zadra? Keeping my weapons ready." This guy looks suspicious. I'm going to approach in a friendly way. "I am Zadra, although it is not a name I have used in a very long time. Too long for your ears, in fact. How did you hear of it?" And then I have two choices. "Well, funny you should ask. I met this elven beauty, you see." Or, "I guess I'm just good with names, you know." I'm going to choose the first option. "Ah, I see you met my Alice. Is she okay?" And then I have three choices. "Really? You mean you've cursed her and all?" "She is okay, all things considered." "She's not great, man. How would you feel after centuries alone and cursed?" I'm going to choose the third option. Right, yeah, stupid question, really. I just meant, is she still, never mind. You're right. I have no right to ask, after all. It is all my fault. And then I can say, "Yes, it is. Why would you do it to your lover?" Or I can tell the orc to undo it. I feel like investigating further. He says, "I was young and a fool. We were in love. But as you see, it was not an easy match. My matriarch banished me from my clan, and so I asked Alice to leave with me. The elves were none better than my own people. They too offered an ultimatum, me or them. Alice chose family and duty. She implored me to stay and fight both our people's backward ways. I did not understand. I was so angry. I sought help from dark forces, and they promised me satisfaction. Alas, all they gave was bitterness and regret." "So you asked the dark powers to curse Alice?" "It was not that easy. Never is. You see, I was a fool, tricked by my own lust. A creepy-looking old child haunted my dreams for months, fueling my anger and my desire for Alice until it burned so hot I was ready to do anything. The creature then offered me a deal, and like a child I took it. The creature told me that if I gave Alice this enchanted ribbon, she would be mine forever, and she would not speak to nor see her family any more. I was overjoyed. I did it. She took my gift, but scorned me still. I run to this tower, where I met the creature, and the cock revealed his true nature, and it laughed at me. From that day, she is imprisoned in her forest, and I am cursed to never leave this tower. Worse yet, it only appears here once every 100 years, for mere days. So you can undo this. I have the red ribbon, if this helps." "The ribbon. So you really have spoken to her. I suppose with this damned thing we could actually try to break the hex. I have been studying for this for centuries. Let us try. Will you help?" And I can choose to help with a hex challenge or not. I'm going to choose to help. A hex challenge uses magical skills. Excellent. I do not know if it was Alice's magic or the gods themselves, but I believe you will be our salvation. The orc begins to prepare for the ritual. He takes his clothes off and paints his body with an elderberry extract. He then throws some rock salt onto the ribbon and sets it on fire. The blaze burns red and sizzles with malicious laughter. In the smoke, you see the face of a wrinkled child. join in and help the hex. I will begin combat. Okay, these are my characters that I have available. As you can see, their numbers are lower than you might expect for a regular fight. For instance, my orc only has 10 health and 4 attack. Hexes are more difficult to perform than a fight, and so I must be careful. I'm sure I'll still win. It begins with my opponent's turn. He plays 2 hexes. Many of the same rules that apply in combat apply in non-combat challenges. I'm going to play Helena. She will cut in line and perform a hex attack on this hex. I will then play Zadra, and it is now my opponent's turn. I will choose to play a counter tactic to try to make my opponent discard a card, and it succeeded. Next I will play Vaclav and a Forest Elf. My opponent has no cards left, so it becomes my turn, and I can play as many as I like. Now you notice when I played this character, even though he has a spear icon, he did not cut in front of any of the hexes. It is because I played him late in the challenge. If you play a character with a spear icon late in a challenge, it will not get a free attack, nor will it get to cut in front of an enemy. Finally, I'll play Mesamir, and then allow the hex to begin. It attacks my character, and then my character attacks the hex. Damage works in much the same way as it would in any other combat, it just uses different skills and has different animations. There is still a danger when doing a hex. I can still lose characters if I am not careful. I did not win in that first round of combat, so we play again. But my opponent only has 1 card. And with this character, I should be able to win immediately. I am wrong. It only did a half strength attack, so we must play it out. And I will now allow the hex to finish. I won the hex. You see the orc twist and contort as he battles the power of the hex. You see the familiar gray ash swirling around the fire. Then it all stops. The red flame dies. The ash drops to the ground and disappears. And you see a huge smile on Zadra's face. We did it! I am free! Thank you, friends. Now I must go back to Alice and see if she is okay. But before he is able to leave, Alice appears before you all. Wow, hello, I guess the curse really is over. Alice nods at you. Yes, I am free, although my city is naught but ashes. But I suppose that matters not any more. As promised, I will give you a blessing of the Silver Oak peoples. If you are worthy, it will give you understanding of magic. And then my characters receive permanent bonuses. Helena gets a +3 bonus to her magic skill. My forest elf gets +2 to intelligence and folklore. So does Mihu and my orc worker. I can say thank you, or I can ask, what do you mean, worthy? I'm going to choose to say thank you. She nods and bows her head in response. You see Zadra stands by without a word, but there are tears in his eye. Alice looks at him for a while, then turns back to you. I will ask you as my savior, should I forgive him his folly, or avenge my city and my fate? I'm going to say, just let it go. Anger is what caused this mess. Thea is a sad place. You too should try and be happy. Alice nods and smiles, then walks over to Zadra, who awaits her anxiously. After an awkward moment, Alice embraces her lover. They disappear together. Good day's work. Off we go. And I earn 5 XP and 1 research. Thank you for watching this gameplay explanation. We hope you enjoy Thea the Awakening.